You do?
Yeah, we can there. I've been there with you before.
Last Tuesday.
I cut the line last time.
Welcome to the Bay. Welcome to the town.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a good place to be. All right, so obviously you follow this team very closely.
Yeah.
You were in the locker room. But we went from hearing that KD can't deal with LeBron to now LeBron shouldn't even be guarding KD after last night. How the tables have turned, Mark. What grade would you give LeBron's performance last night?
I give him a B, but I give Kevin Durant an A+. I mean, he was outstanding.
He was.
You know, you got a boxing guy right here.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think Kevin Durant comes in knowing you got to knock out the champ. It's like Kovalev and Ward when he comes in. Kovalev didn't knock Ward out. You know, he didn't finish the thing.
Ward clawed his way back into that fight, got the decision.
Exactly. But so KD knows this is just one step. It's just one game. Don't get too excited. But he's not in awe of this moment. He's been here before. And he came with a mentality to Oakland. He's like, look, I'm not going to stress myself out anymore. I'm going to have fun playing the game of basketball. He understands the stakes that are here, and the stakes are high. But he's just playing, and he wasn't stressed in that game. He just did KD.
You talked to him. What did he say?
He said that he was a little anxious before the game, but he's like taking away all the outside noise. I don't know if there's an athlete in sports right now getting hated on more than him for his decision. He even beat up First Take to me recently. He's like, why is First Take saying this and that? But he said he's not listening to any of that. He's told his people not to listen to that. He's focused on trying to win a championship, and I think he wants to make all these people that beat him up, Oklahoma City and otherwise, eat crow by winning a title.
Listen, I picked the Warriors in 5. I didn't beat up KD.
I love how it's like I don't pay any attention to that. Why does First Take?
Yeah.
Didn't mention First Take.
How do you hear what you don't hear?
Yeah.
Well,
like
Stephen A.
That's
has been
respect,
saying,
though, right?
Stephen A. has been saying that it's the weakest move he's ever seen from a superstar. I haven't pointed out to Stephen A. yet because I was waiting for him for the finals to point it out that Moses Malone, who was maybe the best player in the league at the time, signed as a free agent with the Philadelphia 76ers after they just lost to the Lakers in the finals. They had a great team. Yeah. He joined that team, and they crushed the Lakers the very next year. And Moses Malone is not considered weak in any way, shape, or form. So if KD wins the chip on a team that couldn't get over the hump, I think it's unfair to say it's the weakest move ever by a superstar, but that's Stephen A.
Now, did he say that about LeBron?
What's that?
When he went to Miami?
Well, the difference is, for many...
There's a big difference with that.
This is a difference of degree,
Why is that different?
Because the idea is LeBron created a super team in Miami.
But he brought on...
KD joined a super team. I agree. There's no difference. And when a GM makes a super team, no one cares.
And that's the problem.
If Jerry West makes a super team for the Lakers, that's okay. But if KD says, I'd like to win a championship, I'll go join that team, that's not okay for
And you know, Mark, I was struggling what grade to give LeBron last night, between a B and a C, because by LeBron standards, we know he can fill up the stat sheet even more. Especially the turnover department, bring that down some. But
well, Tristan has to show up, too.
That's the problem. Like, what people are not understanding.
He can't do it by himself. I know he's good. Not against this.
No, not against this. Look, he lost in 6 when he went out there by himself.
The Pacers. He can't beat him by himself.
This team is even better. So if you're thinking about LeBron and his perspective, is he saying, I do more, you guys follow? Or is he really challenging his teammates, saying, you guys do more, and then I'll respond from that?
Don't go to Alcatraz today. Don't get no chowder, you know. Focus on playing basketball. They didn't show up. This is the finals, and I thought he showed up with a finals mentality. Kyrie eventually did. Everybody else, it seemed like the game they had here on Martin Luther King Day. And they didn't overcome that yet.
Mark, you brought up earlier that it was like a title fight. He knows he's got to come out and punch the champ in the mouth, and that's what he did to LeBron last night. The one-on-one matchup was won by KD. He was bigger, younger, faster, better, both ends of the floor. He got LeBron round 1. In your experience talking to him, is this something that's on his mind, that LeBron has the crown and that's what he wants? Because KD makes comments like, if I don't win, it's not the end of my life. I have all these. And when you start to see someone point to stuff outside of basketball, oh, that's a built-in excuse. Or is last night indicative of the fact that he is coming for the crown?
No, it's indicative. I mean, I think it's just this quiet storm that he has. He's not putting any stress on it. But if he wins, I could see him being like Jordan, holding a trophy, just in tears, crying. He certainly went through a lot. He's trying to focus on other things outside of basketball. But trust me, he wants this bad. And he remembers the time, 2014, when, he thanked his mom, said, you're the real MVP. At that time, he was on top of the basketball world. He gets hurt. He's fallen. I think most people even see Steph ahead of him. But I think now he's coming with a vengeance to prove to everybody he should be on top of, or he's able of being on top of that mountain.
Because a lot of times if you ask these guys directly, no, it's not about the one-on-one matchup. And I think KD went to Golden State because he's sick of hearing who takes the last shot. You or Westbrook. He goes to a team where the open man takes the last shot. It's easy. We play basketball the right way. And yet, the one-on-one matchup with LeBron is obvious, right? It's like when Kobe wanted to go up against Jordan as Jordan was getting older and Kobe was coming up. When Iverson crossed Jordan over. Does he view it that way?
You know, I think he's also given a lot of, and yes, I think he's also given a lot of read between the line things. I'm having fun now. This is a team now. He's not mentioning Westbrook's name or the Thunder's name, but why is he having so much more fun all of a sudden? Why is it more, he sees this more as a family, as more as a team.
Willing to taste less money to keep it together.
Yeah, but we all know in a family, everything's not rosy. Like, we'll stick together, we'll grind together, but there are issues. The one thing, the dynamic between KD and Steph, like, he came and joined the Golden State Warriors where Steph was the man. And if you just look at production, he's not the alpha anymore. It is Kevin Durant. How's that dynamic between those two?
Christmas Day was big. After that Christmas Day game, I think there was a big come-to-Jesus meeting after they drew that lead in the fourth quarter, and they came in there, and Steph was upset. Remember how he was at the end of the bench? I think it was bigger than just the Kyrie play. He wasn't involved in the game, really. And if you look at that game, that's when I think they matched. That's when they figured it all out. That's when they decided to keep it real with each other. And if you look at since December 25th, this has been a different Warriors team, and they've kind of gotten on the same page.
Was there any talk? What I noticed from yesterday's game is throughout the season, I never really saw them both hot together. You know, if KD's hot, then Steph's not getting touches, or vice versa. It's why when KD got hurt, it took Steph a while to get his shot back as his usage rate goes up. And then KD comes back, and they got to. But last night, I saw a two-man game. I saw a crime partner, two guys on the same level, both hot, both getting touches. Was there any talk of that after the game?
There was talk about Clay. What if Clay joins in that? What if Clay becomes Clay? That's going to be tough to deal with. He has to wake up. I talked to his dad a little bit.
Michael Thompson.
He's a little surprised. I mean, everybody's saying he's not in his rhythm. He's not in his rhythm. Look, this is about winning a championship. Forget your rhythm. He can make shots. We've seen him do it. If Clay's the best three-point shooter in the world, he has to hit open shots. So if somehow Clay wakes up, this is going to be pretty dangerous to beat.
He's not taking very many open shots, catch and shoot. He's putting the ball on the floor or something.
He missed layups.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Several layups.
It's mental.
Yeah, something's going upstairs.
And his dad mentioned that. He could tell something's a little mental right now. He has to shake that off.
Clay seems like the type, and has always seemed like the type that he's not worried. Like he looks like a killer. Like you don't want, if you're the other team and Clay has the ball in crunch time, no. And yet, where do the yips come from all of a sudden?
He's hard on himself. And probably more hard on himself than most people know. I mean, look, you got a dad who's created 3 professional athletes.
Father knows best, Michael Thompson. We know Michael Thompson well from L.A.
No, he's going to push them. He's pushed them since they were little boys. So if he doesn't go well, even though he's a great shooter, like Mike Brown said yesterday, he's shoot. I still think Clay beats us up pretty hard. If
Clay doesn't start shooting, Michael's going to dock his allowance.
Mark, before we let you go, what are you hearing about Steve Kerr?
Looks like he could be back. If he feels better this weekend, he could be back to Sunday. So I'm happy. You're like this. 1975 was the last time in the only time that 2 black coaches coached in the NBA Finals. So I'm glad he let a brother coach it, Mike Brown, the other day. So we could have 2 black coaches again for the first time in 40 years.
It's weird. My NFL mindset always hears you go with the hot hand. We go with the hot players. But you go with the hot coach.
But Steve comes, and Mike's won 11. He's 11. Steve comes back. He has to stay back. I don't think he can flip-flop games.
The thing about the coaching, black coaches, is sure, if there were a lot of black players in the league, you'd expect to find some black coaches. But this is the NBA.
We don't have time for that discussion. Mark, thank you so much. We appreciate you for the information, for the insight, all good stuff. Stay tuned, because up next it is going to get cold in here. Ice Cube in the house to talk all things Oakland. And up next, we have one of the few undefeated fighters in boxing history. San Francisco native Andre Ward will join us. What does he think about Floyd Mayweather fighting Conor McGregor? Stay here, First Take on the road.
realize thing that stands out to you about them, whether it's speed or whatever. What was it for tonight?
KD.
KD's so versatile. I mean, we put him basically at all 4 positions. I'm always as good as my teammates and Steph and Clay and Draymond and Zaza and the rest of the guys. We just complement each other, try to complement each other and make the game easier for each other.
Can't give a great score like Durant. You know, easy baskets like that, especially in transition, especially early.
We've been here before and know there's a lot of work left to do. So, good start.
Welcome back into First Take here in Lake Chalet in Oakland on the road for the NBA Finals. They say you can't win them all, but our next guest, he proves that one wrong. He puts his undefeated record on the line in a rematch against Sergey Kovalev on June 17th. We're giving up for the Warriors, but we got to give it up for San Francisco native Andre Ward.
Is it Trey? Is it Trey? Love it.
I love it. I love it.
Got to.
You like the way he reps the Bay Area? That was lackluster.
This is what we do.
Do you like the way he reps the Bay Area?
Thank you so much for being here. What was your reaction to last night's game, the blowout?
I mean, it was a little surprising to see the Warriors get that kind of lead and sustain it, but at the same time, it wasn't. You know, they played tremendous basketball throughout the year. You know, they'll have hiccups here and there. It's a long season. Sometimes the media, they'll overreact. But this is what we kind of expected, especially, you know, bringing KD on board.
Andre, you and I have known each other for some years now and worked together, and I've seen you when you're just working, the broadcast or something, and when the fight is approaching, and you have a big fight approaching right now, and that's 2 different Andre Wards. You have your game face. You could already see it on.
Absolutely.
And yet you show up today to talk Warriors. Usually you don't like to do that. Too much media you're very serious. Why are you showing up to rep the Bay today?
Well, you guys are in town, so I definitely had to stop by and say hello.
There it is.
There it is.
That's first and foremost. It's a big fight, you know, and really, to be honest with you, I approach every fight the same, and I know you hear athletes talk like that and say those kind of things, but like in my career and where I'm at, I don't have a lot of room for error, so I got to approach them the same way, and this is a fight that deserves to be talked about. So, you know, I got to come out here and do things like this. Excuse me, my mic's a little out of place. Before I get my road work in this morning.
And for people who don't know, the first fight, Ward-Kovalev, was a classic. Andre looked like he was about to get knocked out early, somehow got up and won a great fight. I said during the broadcast, only a great fighter can win this fight. Andre got a razor-close decision, won the fight. He's a great fighter. Hasn't lost since he was, 13?
It's been a minute.
Olympic gold medal, undefeated as a pro. This is a big fight coming up, and Kovalev is a killer.
I know where you were going with that question. The old Clubber Lang beats Rocky because he didn't talk to reporters, and then when he did talk to him, all of a sudden Rocky looked a little more tough in the
Rocky
ring.
3.
Rocky 3.
All of life can be understood through Rocky 3.
With that said, man, translate the fighter in you to what you saw last night in the fight in the Cavs or lack thereof. What did you see? Because you know about that mentality necessary. What did you see from LeBron and his teammates?
I think LeBron did a great job. I think, you know, he had a good game. He didn't have a superhuman game. And I think he's going to have to be superhuman every time out. And the role players, everybody else that assists him, are going to have great games. And that's the, you know, the struggle that LeBron always has. If the role players and the guys coming off the bench is, you know, if they're mediocre or so-so that night and he has a regular game, you get the kind of outcome you got last night.
There you go.
And KD's performance last night, does that justify, or did it need to be justified, his move to the enemy? You know, the Thunder just barely got beaten by the Warriors, and he jumped ship and comes to the Warriors.
Yeah.
Does his performance last night justify the move? Did it need to be justified?
I mean, I don't think it needed to be justified, but I think he's a competitor, you know, so he's mulling on this stuff all year long, and, you know, he's a class act. He's a personal friend of mine. We have discussions about this kind of stuff. So he's going to come out fired up. He's going to come out and put on a show. And people get it twisted. You know, they think that, you know, it's easier because he went to the Warriors. But he not only put a bullseye on his back, but it was win a championship or bust. That's a lot of pressure. Yeah. And for him to perform under that pressure all year and the way he started out game 1 in the finals says a lot about his character.
10-8 round against LeBron, round 1.
Let's go back to some boxing. We have Canelo Alvarez, Triple G in September. How do you see that one playing out, Andre?
I think it's a good fight. You know, I think Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo Alvarez did the right thing. You know, they took their time. They allowed the fight to be built. They didn't allow, you know, media pressure or media scrutiny to force them to get in there, you know, sooner than they wanted to. They allowed Canelo to come up and weight a little bit higher, let his body get settled with a higher weight, and make a few paydays along the way. And that was something that people are talking about, and it's going to be a big fight. But I don't know. I think the questions leading into that fight are going to boil down to size. Is Golovkin too big for Canelo? It's tough to say, but that's the beautiful thing about our sport. They're going to have a date, just like I have a date coming up in a couple weeks, and we're going to see who's going to rise to the occasion.
All right, let's talk about another fight, a super fight in potential that doesn't have a date yet, and that's Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. I know I want to see that spectacle, but for you as a real boxer, do you think that's going to help or hurt the sport of boxing?
I don't think it can hurt. You know, I think sometimes, you know, we as fans, and I am a fan of the sport, and I am a fan of MMA as well, we want our cake and we want to eat it too. We want to partake of the build-up, the spectacle leading up to the fight. We want to be glued into that. And then we also want this tremendous fight, and that's understandable. But if you're going to pay for this spectacle and this event, which is I don't think has ever been done before, between a top MMA fighter and arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time, Floyd Mayweather, just understand what you're getting into. We don't know what the fight's going to actually look like. Now, experts may have their opinion, but we don't know. But if you're signing up, sign up for the spectacle, the build-up, the lead-up, and let's hope we get a great fight at the end of the day.
However, we're pretty sure we're going to get a great fight on the 17th between you and Kovalev.
100%.
And first, your prediction on that fight, Andre. Andre, the broadcaster who I've worked with many times. Ward Kovalev, what do you think?
I think for myself, I can't speak for him. You know, I think for myself, you're just going to see a fighter that rises to the occasion and goes to another level. You know, I'm going to have fun in there. I'm going to enjoy myself. And really, you know, I don't think I had enough fun in the first fight. There's levels to the game. And as an athlete, you know, okay, you know, I won, but I didn't do this. Or, I wasn't clicking. I've been doing things in training camp that I haven't been doing in a long time. I feel like my legs are back. I'm feeling good because people got to realize I've had some stopping and going in my career, had some legal battles I had to push through. But this is the first time I've had consistent fights over an extended period of time. And I take full responsibility for the early part of the fight. But I'm also going to give myself and my team a lot of credit for the way we responded to adversity and the way we battled back. And you just going to see a tremendous performance.
Warriors or Cavs in how many games?
Man. You know I'm going with the dub. That's get that off the table right away.
Get that off the chest.
I'll probably say 5.
Okay.
I'll probably say 5.
Gentlemen,
He's going to be out there smiling
Say
like
Dubs
KD.
in 5.
Andre, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank
Best of
you.
luck in the rematch.
I
Can't wait to
appreciate
see
it. Thank
that.
you.
Get it, brother.
Coming up, Kevin Durant outplayed LeBron in Game 1, but will the script be flipped in Game 2 Sunday? Don't miss our 3-star predictions coming up, and don't go anywhere, because the one and only Ice Cube stops by to talk hoops as Raiders move to Vegas. So much more. First Take from Lake Chalet.
Crisp, cold refreshment. It's what Bush is known for. What are you known for?
Oversharing.
In fact, I have this thing. Nope.
Changing your oil after 3,000 miles? If you'd use new Mobile One annual protection, you wouldn't have to. Why are you 3 inches tall?
What? You don't like short people? Don't change your oil. New Mobile One annual protection.
The secret history of Transformers. 1,000 years we've kept it hidden to protect Earth from what was destined to arrive. It begins.
I'm dying.
Well, First Take is going overtime here at the NBA Finals. Make sure you tune in for our special shows throughout Cavs Warriors 3 starting this Sunday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Doors open 7:30 a.m. Pacific, so make sure you pack the house and join us on Sunday morning right here in Oakland. Welcome back to the town. We're here in Lake Chalet. It is such a beautiful day here, and it doesn't get more Bay Area than this. Our next guest, he doesn't need an introduction. The multi-talented Ice Cube in the house.
Yeah.
You think this crowd's excited or what?
Yeah.
so much for making some time.
Oh, yeah, I had to come through and say what's up.
We appreciate it. So what do you think after last night? Can the Cavs make this a series?
Last year we saw this happen.
Yeah.
So I believe, of course, the Cavs is a formidable opponent. So, yeah, it could be a series. It could be a series. I still think the Warriors going to win it, though.
How many games?
Yeah,
I think it's going to go 7.
Okay.
Well, okay, 7 games.
Now, you follow the NBA, but you're a crazy Lakers fan.
Yes.
And the Lakers have had some tough times in recent years, but they keep drafting high up in the draft. There's no Kobe Bryant in the draft. There's nothing they can do about that. Of all the young guys they've taken, Cube, who do you see that you go, that's the guy that they've taken so far?
Well, I think they all have a little development to do, but I like the direction they're going. I like the new kid Ingram. I think he showed a lot of flash at the end of the season. I'm still looking for Randall to be a little more consistent, but I still, he's a walking double-double, so I don't think you can shy away from that. And, it's really about how we draft and then what we do to bring in the pieces we need.
Speaking of which, they're picking second in the draft again.
Yes.
Yeah. And everyone's anticipating that Lonzo Ball will be there and that the Lakers will take him. What do you think of LeVar and Lonzo and the big baller brand?
I love what LeVar is doing with his son because, when you really think about it, we always talk about fathers being involved with their sons, and here goes
like I am with Marcellus. Bring him on the show.
Yeah.
Bring your son to work.
body blow.
So I love what LeVar is doing, to promote his son, to push it, and as a matter of fact, he's done a great job because that's the only kid I know coming out of college is Lonzo Ball.
Now, Q, talk a little deeper about that because you're in the same situation, obviously, with your tremendous success. But now your son, O'Shea Jr., we saw him straight out of Compton. Now he has more roles going forward. But you didn't take that approach. It didn't seem like to the public side. Can you talk about LeVar's approach and maybe to the critics who criticize him about his style?
Well, teach his own. When you got your son, you do what you feel is best. With my son, I felt like it, Straight Outta Compton was the perfect movie for him. Whether he was my son or not, I knew he was the right guy for the job.
And what a great job he did in that. I know it's like, well, he's playing his father. No, that's not. Yeah. He did a great job in that movie.
Give a little something. Yeah,
I want to switch gears here, though, because when I think of the Raiders, I think of you.
Yeah, that's right. I'm the president of the Raider Nation.
Right?
Well, you keep moving. Where you living right now?
Don't matter.
What's the one word or the word that first came to mind when you heard that they were leaving Oakland?
I was sad they wasn't coming to L.A., but
yeah.
I feel sad for Oakland, straight up. I think the NFL makes so much money. They have enough money to build a stadium here. What are they doing? Why they have these teams uprooting and leaving? And, you got the Chargers in L.A. Y'all want the Chargers? Y'all can have the Chargers.
No, we keep the Chargers.
Y'all can have the
Chargers in L.A. I love the Chargers. They took care of your boy, Q.
Yeah, the Chargers gave him, what is it, 40?
40. Back in the day.
40.
That's
a million.
Yeah, I see why you biased.
Love them. I love them.
So you say that the NFL has enough money, but of course, if the taxpayers aren't paying for the stadium, they'll go somewhere where the taxpayers will pay for it, or the rich owner will pay for the stadium. And now they're moving to Vegas, but they're like, but we're going to stay here for 4 more years. It's kind of like someone's leaving their wife for some woman in Vegas and saying, but honey, I'm going to be living in the house for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
Keep doing the laundry.
How's that going to go?
It's like they separated and they still living in the same house.
How is that going to work? How are these people expected to show up to these Raiders games and root on the team? And that's an up-and-coming team.
Well, they sold out this year for their season tickets. So I think the Raiders owe Oakland a Super Bowl championship before they leave. So that's why I think
to help
people
justify
are going to support.
Yeah, when he says something like that, that's an applause line. What's the matter with you?
They tapped out. Hey, Q, let's talk about your big three. And the league is forming, obviously. They start this summer on a tour of all the major arenas. Talk about the big three, because when I first heard about it, I said, hold on. We're about to watch some players who can't play anymore play again. What's going to be the attraction? But it seems like a lot of people are in support of it.
Yeah, the thing about it,
people think just because you're not in the NBA, you can't play basketball anymore. And these guys can still play. They just can't play 82 games. They can't play those back-to-backs, 3 games in 4 nights and all that kind of stuff. So what we did was eliminate the wear and tear, making it half-court 3-on-3 basketball, which we all grew up playing. So it's nothing new. And to see them half-court in this setting and to see them, flash and shine like they was when they was in the NBA, I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised. People are going to sit back and say, how did we live without this?
Yeah. Do you like basketball or not?
Right.
You want to watch some basketball or not?
And to see these guys go at it, it's a lot of pride. These guys know that they got to bring it. They're not going to embarrass themselves. Some guys saw the combine. When they came to the combine, they saw it was so real that their eyes was big. So now, I think people realize that you got to come hard. The world is watching, and I can't wait till we get to Brooklyn. We're going to be all over the summer. Get your tickets, Ticketmaster, come through and check out the big three.
There are crowds around the cage at West 4th Street in New York.
Right.
This is going to be better basketball.
Cube, this isn't the only thing you're working on. Another new movie, Friday remake?
Yeah, we're putting together it's called Last Friday. So we're in the preliminary stages of that. Me and DJ Pooh, writing the script. He helped me write the first one, so we putting it together. It's gonna be what everybody expected to be. Yeah.
Is that Chris Tucker also? Is that reunion happening?
I'm definitely got a word out to Chris. But to me, with or without him, it's still gonna be a funny
Mike Epps
movie.
was great.
Mike Epps.
He was great. Yeah. The second one, he was great.
Yeah, Mike Epps. We got so many people, The Friday trilogy is almost like Star Wars. You can just bring so many people back, you know what I mean? And you keep going and going and going.
By the way, movies that have produced cultural references, like that's, like Scarface or Coming to America or Friday, right? That. If you haven't watched Friday, you don't even know American culture anymore.
Yeah, that's real.
For sure. All right, we're going to leave it there. Cube, you're staying put. I need your help. We're going to judge these two coming up because they're going to be picking their 3 stars. See how you did yesterday with those also. More First Take from Lake Shell Open with the Raiderettes in the house. Stay here.
Mr. Steak. First Take is brought to you by KFC's Extra Crispy Chicken. It's extra crispy good.
Who you got?
Steph Curry.
Okay.
Steph Curry is at home. He knows everything. He knows everything. Steph knows everything that's been said about him. A lot of it's deserved in his last 2 final series. He's at home. I think it's a close game, and I think in the end, Steph Curry will take this game into his hand and win it for the Warriors. I think he's going to be the hero of the game.
Obviously, the biggest star's name is bigger than you. Steph.
Oh,
but a bigger head. Amir, use your muscles. Hey!
To stick around. Also Marcellus and crowd still hype for 2 hours, so we appreciate that. But as you guys saw yesterday, the gentleman picked Steph Curry. He had 28 points, 10 assists, so they did all right with their 3 stars. You're going to be the judge of this at the end. But I want to start with you, Max. Who is your 3rd star for Game 2 Sunday?
I don't see him staying cold all series. He is due to start hitting some shots, and the answer is Klay Thompson. Mama call him Klay.
Hey, they've been saying that for 13 games.
That's got to happen.
When's it going to happen? It's been
Molly, I appreciate you saying we did all right yesterday, but I'm going to own my mistakes. I got cute. I picked JR, right?
Yeah.
That ain't happening again.
Okay.
I don't think LeBron knows whether or not to pass or shoot. I think he's frenetic in the first half and passive in the second half. But somebody who's not, Kyrie. That guy's going to show up in this game. That guy's going to play.
You know that.
And then number 2, he was number 1 last night. And he showed up LeBron James, actually. We'll see if this sticks now that the tape came off. Kevin Durant's going to have another excellent game. I don't know that he'll repeat last night, but he's going to have an excellent game.
Number 2, though.
We're going to put him at number 1.
Right?
All right. Yeah. So already I know Curry or LeBron's not making your list. One of the two's off. This guy right here, we had Cube, this is how you judge this, all right? He still hadn't had his Steph game yet. Last night was nice. It wasn't even a Steph game. The Steph game's coming, and it's coming at home.
Tell Cube
It'll
how to
happen
judge
here
it.
in Oakland.
Don't tell Cube how to judge it. He knows how to judge.
I'm working the system, man. Let me work.
LeBron James is not going to be embarrassed 2 games in a row.
Yep, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah, he is not going to be embarrassed 2 games in a row.
That was aggressive, Max. I like it.
If the Cavs get out of Oakland with a split, which is possible, it's going to be because LeBron had a big game. And whether or not they win, he's going to have a big game.
Now you're thinking.
He ain't going to hold him down 2 nights in a row.
Oakland, he left Steph off.
Mm-hmm.
He left Steph. This guy came to shut people like me up, to shut you up, Stephen A. at home, talking about a weak decision. I've said it too. He ain't hearing it. He's here to win a championship. He's here to see things.
Certainly bold
KD.
last night. All right, gentlemen. See what the big guys think. Marcellus,
For me,
I'll start with you.
For me, I like
Who
Max
won?
more.
You're going Max?
I go Max. I don't think Clay is going to show up yet. Look, this whole history he's due. I don't believe that. I would say that Max wins because he has LeBron, and LeBron's going to show up big time. He's still the king of the game.
You think Clay's going to keep missing shots?
It's been happening.
You big dummy.
All playoffs.
Max got his buddy here to think.
Yeah, I give it to Will. I give it to Will because
Ice Cube.
I think
just terrible.
I just think the Dubs are gonna win Game 2 at home, and they're gonna just, take it back to Cleveland with a 2-game lead.
So it's like last year's finals.
I got Ice Cube.
And then when they went to Cleveland,
And then what
they
happened?
got beat by 30. So things got ugly when they got to Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, if I was the Warriors, I wouldn't relax. I wouldn't, pop no champagne. I wouldn't chill no champagne yet. So.
All right, real quick, guys. Let's go around the table. Game 2 predictions. Who you got?
I got the Cavs. LeBron shows up big time.
I got the Warriors. KD's not going to be denied.
Push comes to shove. This is going to be a close game. The Cavs maybe eke it out and leave with a split.
Yeah.
That it's going to be very close.
I give it to the Warriors. It'll be a close game, but I just think the Warriors are going to walk out of here 2-0 lead.
All right, that's what it is. Thank you guys so much, all of you, for coming out. Appreciate you so much.